going on, everybody? Welcome on into the Jets Report by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Alijah Vera-Tucker injury and how do the Jets replace him with him expected to miss the entire season. This was coming in from Adam Schefter a little bit ago, saying the Jets fear that guard Alijah Vera-Tucker suffered a season-ending torn tricep. He is getting a second opinion to confirm the injury and see if surgery is necessary. So, it's not completely official right now, but I would still, if I had to give my best bet, he will miss the entire season. And this is also a different torn tricep than the one he suffered back in 2022. And I understand this is a brutal, brutal injury for the New York Jets. But people are acting like the season's already over. And everybody needs to relax. I understand he is a hell of an offensive lineman. He was supposed to have a massive role for this offense the entire season. And obviously, this is not good news. But also, the season is not over. There are ways to navigate this injury, and if we all believe in Aaron Glenn, like we should, he should be able to find an answer to this problem. So I understand it's not good, but everybody, take a deep breath. You go get a win this Sunday, and it'll all be sunshine and rainbows in the New York area. But hey, if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We are closing in on 9,000 subscribers. We just need 275 more of you guys to hit that subscribe button. So if you guys want to stay up to date on everything around your New York Jets, we're posting multiple videos a day. We go live for the games. We got short form content. Anything you need around your New York Jets, we got you. So hit that subscribe button today, and maybe we can hit 9,000 subs on today's show. All right, so how do the Jets replace Alijah Vera-Tucker? Now, I think by far the most likely option here is that the Jets just simply move Joe Tippmann to right guard and start Josh Myers at center. And then, if they do that, this is what the Jets' offensive line would look like. Now, this is why I was saying everybody needs to relax, because even producer Dylan said it before we started filming, you could do a lot worse. Like, you're assuming that Fashanu and Membu, they are your bookend tackles for the entire season, hopefully for the next 10 years, but you still got good guard play. Like, even though Joe Tippmann has only played limited action at right guard, it's still a serviceable option. And then also Josh Myers, this guy was the center for the Packers last year with one of the best rushing attacks in the National Football League, so he's a good option. Now, does this put a lot more pressure on Fashanu, on Membu? 110%. But with the Jets going out there and getting a Josh Myers this offseason, it makes this injury a lot more manageable. Now, on Joe Tippmann playing right guard here. So, obviously, majority of his career starting at center for the most part. Over 1,700 snaps, but he did have a stint during the 2023 season where he had to fill in and play some right guard, had 199 snaps when playing that position, and I was looking at a couple of highlights on Twitter. He looks solid. Now, the PFF grade shakeout, very up and down. First couple of weeks when he had to fill in at right guard back in 2023, he was unbelievable. A 71.5 overall PFF grade in his first week. He looked even better the following week, given a 76 overall PFF grade, but then he definitely took a hit. Ended up being 52.9 in week 5. 33.7 in week 6. So obviously this isn't you're not bringing a Pro Bowler in to play right guard, but at least Tippmann has some experience at that position where you could just kind of man the ship. You probably won't be as good as AVT, but it's still not like you're going from AVT to like an undrafted free agent, for example. And, filling in for Tippmann at center would be a guy like Josh Myers who, again, is just serviceable. Like, he is just a okay center in the league. But again, that's better than nothing. That's better than, let's just say you did have to move Tippmann to right guard, and then you got a UDFA starting at center. This guy's played over 1,000 snaps each of the last 3 seasons, and pretty solid. Like, his grades last year were okay. Like, I would take that same production this upcoming season, 55.7 overall, solid in the pass blocking game at 64.9. But I'll tell you what, for this Jets offensive line, without Alijah Vera-Tucker, you're going to get a great litmus test week 1 because, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, first off, this game is going to be a slugfest. I would be shocked if either team gets the 20 points in this matchup. But you're going against Hayward, one of the best interior defensive linemen. You obviously got T.J. Watt in the perimeter, and you just got a Mike Tomlin group that's going to play like their hair's on fire. So even though it's bad, and especially this happening only a couple of days before week 1, it is a brutal blow. But I got some faith in these guys. Now, I was panicking earlier saying, this Jets season, of course, the Jets are going to jet, but anything is possible. Put some faith in Josh Myers. Put some faith in Joe Tippmann. Plus, Myers was the center for Justin Fields back at Ohio State for a season, so he's got some familiarity there. But it all starts week 1. I understand it feels like the house is collapsing, the house is on fire. You go get a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It will all be good here in Jets land. But I'll ask you guys this. Be honest. How concerned are you with the offensive line? Scale it 1 through 100. We all had high hopes for this group. Wanted them to be a potential top 5 unit if they could stay healthy, but that was a big if. Now we have an injury to one of the best offensive guards in the league. You guys let me know. How concerned are you with the offensive line? 1 through 100 down below. All right, so that is the most likely option. Just going internally, moving Tippmann the right guard. Josh Myers starts at center. But coming up, I do want to talk about some external options where, let's just say this experiment doesn't go well for the first couple of weeks. Maybe they could hit the trade market. Maybe they could sign a guy. Maybe they could call somebody and they could unretire and play for the New York Jets. We'll talk about that here in a second. But before we do so, if you guys want to get some new New York Jets merchandise in your life, we got a deal for you guys at chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. I got this link in the comment section and description of today's show. But just click that link. Check them out. I think they're sweet. The cutoff hoodie look is in right now. So if you guys want to get some yourself, hit that link, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. All right, let's talk about some external options here. We only got 3 of them, and biggest reason for that is you rarely see offensive linemen get traded, and you rarely just see offensive guards get traded. So there's not many good options out there. But one guy to keep your eyes on is actually Blake Brandel of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Brandel this past season was pretty solid for Minnesota, and he doesn't have a starting role anymore. The Vikings ended up drafting Donovan Jackson in round 1, so he is a backup offensive lineman for the Vikes, and he started off the season playing very good football. Now, Christian Darrisaw, one of the best left tackles in the league, he got hurt week 8 of the season, and after the Christian Darrisaw injury, we saw Brandel take a step back, but if he would come to the Jets, he'd be playing next to Armand Membu, and is Membu Christian Darrisaw? No, but he has the potential to be, and when he was playing with Darrisaw, he graded out very well. 63 overall, 63.8 in the pass block, 65.6 in the run block, only allowed 10 pressures in 7 games, which is fantastic. And, the Vikings and Jets front offices have already made a trade with Harrison Phillips, and this feels like the most likely option externally. I still think it's 95% the Jets just roll out with what they have, but if they do want to get aggressive and they like what they've seen on tape from Brandel, then maybe they could call up Minnesota. You already have that connection open after the Harrison Phillips trade, so watch out for that. But, again, this is going to be an experiment at first, but if it goes wrong, maybe you call up Minnesota and try to get a trade done. Now, number 2 here. I'm actually going to go with a guy that just recently retired, Brandon Scherff. Now, I was shocked he retired in the first place because I thought he could have signed maybe a 2 for 12 deal or a 1 for 8, for example, because this guy was still playing good football before he retired. I mean, for the Jacksonville Jaguars this past season, and playing over 1,000 snaps, didn't allow a single sack. He had a pass block grade of 74.5, overall grade of 64.7. Now, obviously, the biggest question is, would Scherff unretire to join the New York Jets? I doubt it, but also if the Jets just say, hey, we'll offer you a starting role, maybe he thinks, like, yeah, I'll go build this connection. I'll go try to help out the New York Jets, reset that culture there in New York. Maybe he finds that an intriguing choice, how he wants to finish out his NFL career, but I think that's unlikely as well. And then a pretty household name here, Shaq Mason, still a free agent, struggled this past season with the Houston Texans, gave up a lot of sacks, gave up a lot of pressures, and again, this is a break the glass in case of emergency type of signing, but his PFF grades aren't bad. I mean, back in 2021, he was one of the best interior offensive linemen in the league, had a PFF grade of 85.2, run block 85.3, solid pass blocking grade as well, and he's stayed fairly healthy throughout his NFL career. So again, that's if all things are going bad, maybe you call Shaq Mason. But if I was calling the shots, I got faith in Josh Myers and Joe Tippmann and this offensive line figuring it out. And the Jets should just ride this out. You play the first couple of weeks, Steelers, Bills. Let's say you get your ass kicked up front, then maybe you try to call a guy. And because the Jets, I mean, they're going to obviously lean into the run heavily this upcoming season. If they can't do that, if they can effectively run the football, I could see them making a move. But again, like you already gave up 2-6 for Harrison Phillips. Would you want to give up more late-round draft capital to just get kind of a spot starting offensive guard? I have my doubts there, but I'm going to put some faith in the guys. Hopefully they figure it out. But you guys make the call. I'm saying they shouldn't. I'll be typing my N for no's down below. But should the Jets bring in another offensive lineman? You guys make the call. Y for yes, N for no. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.